definitely capable of taking at least one map off of him, but yeah, Vengeur, as we all know, he can play so well when things are going his way, but then we've also seen him just kind of crumble going up against other opponents, so it will really depend on how well he's playing today.
I think I actually would agree with you. I predicted 2-1 for k1llsen, purely on the basis that I do genuinely think that Vengeur has a really good shot at winning Awoken. However, if he doesn't win Awoken, I mean, I project a 3-0 personally. Yep. But we're about to find out our last match of EU CIS. Vengeur versus k1llsen. Vengeur looking to send a message. And k1llsen trying to remind us that man's the world champ for a damn good reason.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't want to lose. Now he's got such a good track record, beating k1llr 3-0 last week, and he wants to keep that streak going. k1llsen playing the Doomslayer, excellent champion on this map, and he's already got that LG ready, which is the perfect tool rather, to deal with a fast, aggressive champion like Zorlak. He's gonna set up on Mega, probably won't be able to get on Heavy, but he's still gonna push in, see if he can do some damage.
I say shouts to the QuakeCon rocket launcher.
Oh yeah.
k1llsen saying to everyone, do you know who I am?
Just a friendly reminder, but I won this, is basically what he's saying right now. Good use of the spit right there. Actually, k1llsen isn't even going to push through for Heavy at all. Mega has been delayed quite substantially. In comes Vengeur. The LG is solid. Vengeur once again up the bounce pad, and down he goes. k1llsen, excellent play, and he'll be able to take Mega as well.
k1llsen taking that fight wonderfully well. Vengeur putting a lot of confidence in his rockets, but I just love the composure there from k1llsen, how he barely even moved in that fight.
Yeah.
Vengeur's the one that's flying around, getting that entry damage, full speed ahead, and k1llsen was just kind of, barely standing put. He was barely strafing. And the missed rail, and out of rockets. That's unfortunate. He has got the rail though.
Yeah. k1llsen just not even going for Heavy right there, even though he definitely could have dropped on it. Very collected play, but he shows his face again. Vengeur getting the jump shot. Perfect rail, tying it up 1-1, and he might find k1llsen right off the bat. k1llsen has only got a rocket launcher to defend himself with, but that opening damage was just too much, and down he goes. Vengeur taking a lead.
Vengeur understanding that against the Doomslayer too, sometimes you have to give the rocket entry a little bit more time to factor in for the double jump. Doomslayer's going to be in the air for a bit longer, and even though there's damage coming on the way, Vengeur just stayed there patiently. The damage on the shotgun's not going to be enough to take him out. He's going to get some spawn trapping as well. Barely anything though, 20 damage as he's retreating. k1llsen will laugh at that.
Yeah, k1llsen does manage to take Mega though, and Vengeur out of a major item. And this might be difficult for him. Heavy is up in 15 seconds, so still plenty of time. And at this point, he should know that k1llsen doesn't have a rocket yet. And that's what he wants to keep that way as well. That's why he's sticking around at T, trying to deny the rocket launcher from k1llsen.
And that's what the acid puddle is. As he's going to retreat, the acid puddle's going to at least give him some information over does he have the area or not. But k1llsen is not going to stand there yet. Looking for a rail. Going to miss its mark twice in a row now.
Yep.
And now he's retreating back just to get a little bit of that health. Just disengage for a little bit if Vengeur's sitting on a lead. And yeah, actually look at the timing, right? There's a huge amount of time before Mega and Heavy spawn. So a little bit of a room to wiggle around, have a bit of a play.
Yep. Vengeur waiting down below at the teleporter. Both players actually slowing it down quite substantially right now, trying to bait something out on that jump pad. And still k1llsen finding a rail somehow. Right now Vengeur set up on Heavy. That rocket, that's definitely going to help him, and he's actually going to make a move on Mega instead. k1llsen not expecting that at all. That was a beautiful play from Vengeur, stealing what's actually kind of k1llsen's item in that situation.
Ooh. Yeah, there is the instant turnaround on the acid spit. You can really see, I think, just how much respect Vengeur is establishing here.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might go, hey, did he just kind of pull the trigger too early on that ability? But I think ultimately he knows that he's against k1llsen, and the big thing about fighting k1llsen, no pun intended, is the fact that he leaves no room for error. You really can't make a mistake against this guy because he punishes you so hard.
Yeah, and k1llsen managed to secure Mega. He's making his move onto Heavy now as well, but that LG is murderous. k1llsen just not really seeing a way to drop down or do much damage whatsoever, and that's a very good exchange for Vengeur, getting himself onto the Heavy, and now just getting into a fight with k1llsen. Out comes the spit, he hits him once. Fortunately for him, k1llsen very quickly gets it away with that health ball.
Now Vengeur's peppering down some rockets, but needs a lot more damage than that. Every time a fight takes place, look at the stack at the top of the screen, it's pretty much even all the time. And I think that's the trouble the two players are having, is that Vengeur's the one that's trying to constantly push the advantage, as is quite natural as a Sorlag player. You know, you're the one with the speed, gets a good rail on the jump pad. Surprised k1llsen actually used the jump pad, actually, knowing that Vengeur had that angle, but he turns around and he smells blood. He wants to get a little bit more, pushes him out of this map, and he finally lands the LG. It's 2-3. k1llsen, not unhealthy either. And he's in a good position to sit and defend these major pickups.
Yeah, that was a very clean finish from k1llsen. Vengeur couldn't do any damage on them in that exchange. And right now he's going to get a Mega, and he's got a perfect beeline onto the Heavy as well. Getting full control of the items. Vengeur, are you going to go for this? No, surely he will not. He's going to back away instead, and k1llsen just going to pop up and do a little bit of damage. And there we go. Vengeur actually making a move on the Heavy, and he gets it too. k1llsen losing control so quickly.
Thank you, double jump. I think without the double jump, k1llsen might have been a sitting duck in that situation. Very limited and all predictable routes to escape. Gets a beautiful combo though with the rocket and the rail. Vengeur, I think he's staying around a little bit too long and did not respect the possibility of k1llsen turning around on that one. It was the entry of the rocket and rail that put Vengeur weak enough. By the time he took the damage, I think he was like, wait, maybe I shouldn't still be around here. And by that point, k1llsen was already in for the kill.
Yeah, and k1llsen, despite being behind from basically the start of the matchup, he's now managed to tie it up 3-3. And he's looking for more damage on Vengeur. Vengeur definitely has the stack advantage. Luckily for k1llsen, none of that spit will connect. Mega will be up in a few seconds. And k1llsen actually jumps into the spit again. He surely did not want this. Has to back away. Meanwhile, Vengeur takes Mega and makes his way onto the Heavy.
Wonderful rail. However, there's some sizable downtime in between shots. k1llsen dancing with the devil holding that angle, but he's going to survive anyway. Vengeur not quite able to seal it there.
Oh.
And, uh-oh, information. That's what that is.
Yeah. And a decent amount of damage too, actually. Vengeur right now hungry. He smells the blood. Wants to chase k1llsen down. Jumping through the teleporter. In he comes. Gets so much speed as that fast lizard. And just pounces down on k1llsen.
So well played from Vengeur. And again, it almost like once more looked a little bit of a level like he just wasn't, k1llsen wasn't expecting Vengeur to just push the way he did. But this is why so many players say that Vengeur is just dangerous on this map.
Yeah. Keeps finding the angles and doing the damage. And right now he's got a very nice rotation going. There's around 15 seconds between Mega and Heavy, so that puts him in an excellent position to take one and then just move on to the other and keep that rotation going for the next 3 minutes of the map. Mega again going to Vengeur, but he's not going to Heavy right away. He's first looking to do some damage. Look at that speed come out. He will catch k1llsen, but k1llsen excellent avoiding the damage right there. And right now, k1llsen might actually be in a position where he can do some damage onto Heavy. Gets it.
Oh, that was almost a ring out. And the issue is the amount of damage he took means he can't escape. He can't fight for that Heavy. Forced to run away. Vengeur maintaining a massive stack and a beautiful level of control, but he just lost a million points of life right there. His health just disappeared, and just like that, he's forced away from the Mega. And now k1llsen in not so bad of a position to actually immediately fight back. I'm not even entirely sure where a huge bulk of that damage came from.
Yeah, k1llsen is just doing such excellent plays with those rockets into rails, because that's what it was. He shoots a rocket, switches to rail, and then you jump right into it and finishes it off. Vengeur instantly though going for the refrag. No damage off the respawn, but he is still one frag in the lead.
He just knew that k1llsen was weak, so nothing to really stop him from just pressing forward with his face, but he gets beaten to the Mega. That's bad news. And this is an open opportunity really for k1llsen to chase this down. He's so weak. Even in this room, with the amount of pickups that are available, it's still not enough compared to k1llsen's stack. And now there's not going to be a lot of collectibles on the map. The Heavy gets taken as well, and this is unfortunate for Vengeur. I mean, he now has nothing to retreat to. He's collected most of the stuff.
Yep.
Doubling back again, but that's going to take time. And the trade! You know what? I think that's actually a win for Vengeur.
That absolutely is a win for Vengeur, because it keeps the deficit, the difference in frags the exact same. And k1llsen is still playing catch-up right now. Looking... Actually, it's Vengeur who's now in the better position, raining down the rockets from above.
Everything got taken, even the stuff down near Banana. And the moment they traded it out, Vengeur was able to essentially reset the situation. And now he's maintaining his one frag lead. That was absolutely a win, but it's been very, very back and forth, hasn't it, Flea? We're actually dawning just over now the 1 minute warning period. And this is the map that I think Vengeur truly has the best chance to win on. So this next 60 seconds will be pivotal.
He's looking for more damage, gets a good position, uses the LG wisely so, And right now, all the pressure is on k1llsen. He's got 50 seconds, needs to make at least one more frag happen. But Vengeur is relentless, isn't just going to back down and tries to do damage that he can, but misses. That was such an important rail. Had he hit that, it would have bought him a lot of time.
Vengeur has a pretty difficult decision to make, right? When does he go through the teleporter, if at all? He knows he hasn't got a lot of stack. He gets hit by one rail, especially as he's given up the control that k1llsen, if he lands a crucial shot, can chase this one down. But the defensive shots from Vengeur have been absolutely perfect. And now just waste time, sit and defend, be as careful as possible. The bonus light armor, he'll take that for sure.
Yeah. Always cringe a little when you go up to that little ledge for the small armor, because one rail through the teleporter and off the map you go, and with 10 seconds left, it's not something you want to see happen. And right now it looks like k1llsen is on the wrong side of the map, and Vengeur will probably indeed manage to run down the clock. GG, actually, k1llsen. He took 3-0 off of Cooler back at QuakeCon. He won again last week to Cooler 3-0 again, but right now off to a bad start by his standards.
It wasn't one-sided. I guess that's one of the things to take away, and honestly the control and the pickups weren't super lopsided either. It was only a matter of about 4 one side, 4 the other way over the course of 10 minutes. That's not a massive amount, but it was Awoken, and Awoken is a map that you pretty much, if you're a betting man, you'll be betting on Vengeur almost 100% of the time there. Even after a fantastic start, after the way that first frag goes and the decisions that are made, bit of a tongue twister there, sorry, it's a bit more like, we were expecting k1llsen to maybe, run with it. But it was just the composure that we saw from Vengeur the moment he caught those crazy frags at the beginning. Really well disciplined. And it is discipline, something that is impossible to teach, isn't it? And it's something that grows with every tournament that Vengeur competes in. These situations where you need to have the guts to sit there, hit that knock-up rocket, wait like 2 seconds for Doomslayer to land, and then shoot again, all the time you're taking damage. So, props to Vengeur for keeping it together, and props to Vengeur for taking this first map. But that is only one. We have Blood Run next, and Ranger and k1llsen, the champions that are getting selected. Interested to see how Vengeur's going to take this one.
I hope Vengeur can keep the same level of composure, because that's something that he struggled with in the past. He's come so close to winning many times, but then something just goes wrong and he picks one bad fight and it snowballs out of control. So I really hope that he can keep this up. Looks like, Awoken was an excellent map on his behalf, but now we're moving into Blood Run. Very different map, so much slower, and especially at this point, given the champion picks, I think that he needs to be so careful not to surrender frags at the start to k1llsen, because otherwise he's just going to bunker down as that k1llsen.
Yeah, especially seeing as we know how, I think, pivotal we can see Blood Run go in the past, where it is so heavily about the start. We did see a lot of bans immediately introduced. k1llsen banning Clutch. That's something that that doesn't really surprise me at all. I've spoken to him, one-to-one in the past, and he's had some pretty colourful things to say at LANs about Clutch in general. So that doesn't really surprise me. But the matchup of just who can outpatience the other, we saw a little bit of that on Awoken, and it did come down to Vengeur. I think the mobility of Sorlag did actually have a pretty big part in that. It's why whenever he's on Awoken, he does try and get that champion whenever possible. The amount of times you've seen him use Sorlag on that map is, you lose count whenever he's doing these practice games against people. But yeah, it's the fact that Blood Run enforces such a different style of play that we'll see. k1llsen has historically been very successful on this map.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If Awoken was Vengeur's map, then Blood Run is k1llsen's. Just when you just link a player to a map, that's very similar.
Yeah, it fits their playstyles very well as well. So Vengeur's gotta be careful, because this is something that can get out of his hands so quickly if he doesn't play it carefully. And if he just gives k1llsen a finger, he's gonna take your whole hands, he's gonna take your arm, and before you know it, it's done and deal.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's not even talking about the final map, which is going to be Corrupted Keep. I think it's a nice little example of I think a variety of play styles. The way I consider this series to go is this is just one giant test for Vengeur, as far as I'm concerned, because he's always trying to show everyone that he is of that level, and I think he's already proved it. Come on now, he's already proved that he is of that level. But championship status and the ability to be arguably the best in the world. He's had a climb, and he has a climb that is continuing to be taken, but if he can take out the world champ on the way there, well, when the LAN happens, who knows? Yeah,
and we're about to find out exactly how that is going to go. Starting off on Vengeur's point of view, immediately setting up a sneaky totem around the corner that's obviously not really looking so much for damage as it is to just set up. And look at that, k1llsen also just walking, not making any noise whatsoever. This is not good for k1llsen at all. But Vengeur doesn't have the LG. He's got the machine gun though, and he gets the frag. This is bad for k1llsen.
A rocket and a machine gun and a dream is what Vengeur had. And no!
He misses and he falls down!
k1llsen, the mistakes back to back. Oh, that's a fumble. That's a fumble and a half.
Absolutely.
But if it happens, may it happen in the first 50 seconds and not sudden death or something like that, I suppose. But what this means for Vengeur is control, totem establishment, just making sure that he has a little bit of knowledge over where k1llsen is on the map, the kind of weapons he might have available to him. Like, that's a horrendous start. It could not have gone worse for him.
Oh no, again, he just goes through the teleporter. Vengeur waiting for him, but luckily for k1llsen, he's going to miss that final rail. And actually, k1llsen doing a remarkable amount of damage despite being in the worst position. He's going super aggressive right now.
And the damage is exactly what he needed. It's put Vengeur in a position where he can't quite chase crazy hard. That said, fair amount of pickups nearby, but the timing is the next objective. The fact that Mega is now just about to spawn.
Yeah. Heavy will be the next item up. k1llsen took Mega. He's looking very stacked right now. He's outstacking Vengeur quite significantly. And it looks like he'll be able to get Heavy as well. And he does find some of those totems. That's an excellent play from k1llsen. Is going to stop Vengeur dead in his track from getting a nest of them going on and getting that instant overstack.
It just makes that instant defensive style so much harder to actually, like, you know, defend against when they have the totems around. She can heal up whenever she wants. An all-important asset that you don't have access to. It's very, very one-sided. But that's the kind of thing I think k1llsen, that's what makes him so strong, is this optimization. If there's any way he can even the odds, he'll always do it.
Yeah, and right now, despite Vengeur having a 2-frag lead, he's clearly out of control, and k1llsen is just running the map the way he wants to and doing pretty consistent damage to the Italian player as well. And there we go again, finds a rail off the bat. That's a lot of health gone, immediately manages to restack it, but also a lot of armor, and that is especially what Vengeur will be struggling with in the next few seconds.
Vengeur definitely doesn't have a lot of information over where he is. Gets that lovely reactionary rail, k1llsen in the middle of a strafe jump, so no way of dodging that one. Heavy armor with the next objective now. Vengeur looking to establish threat in the middle. Has a totem if he needs it. Actually uses it for opening damage, in fact.
An interesting play from k1llsen, using the orb to actually go down through the grate onto Mega right away. Those rockets are solid. Vengeur does manage to take Heavy, but he pays for it dearly. Manages to stack up quite alright though, but still, k1llsen, Mega will be going his way, and he's just continuing to apply this pressure to Vengeur. That's what he has to do, and just find a way to make it crack.
Another one of those sneaky totems planted though. It's going to be power-up room this time. Another one. Oh, we're going to have a clash near Heavy. Looking for the rockets, and although k1llsen can stop the bleeding temporarily, Dire Orb's going to be down, and the rail! What a choice! What a choice! Vengeur was prepared for a rocket fight, and that was the last thing that happened. Another LG fight, though. He's looking to push him back, collects the Mega and pushes k1llsen away, but a crucial rail! Again, 2 times in a row, and he'll take down the totem. That was perfectly fought there from k1llsen.
Yeah, excellent play, because he knew that Vengeur, who had just only respawned, only had the Mega or the LG to work with, so k1llsen moves backwards out of range of the LG, and then Vengeur can only use the machine gun, whereas k1llsen rails him, but there we go, Vengeur instantly retaliating, railing him right back, and Vengeur once again 1 point in the lead.
These fights have been absolutely sublime so far. They're swapping to the rail because they know it's the best option at winning a fight, but you got to make sure you hit the shots. So many players today have been going for those options for rail, and they're just not hitting their mark, right? And the consequences are severe, but with Vengeur and k1llsen, 2 of the best players in the world right now, it's no surprise they're able to execute these fights perfectly. Plenty more of this map left to go. Totem gets dropped, just a block, if anything. That's definitely going to be swiftly dealt with, but
yeah,
the next objective, man. Heavy's about to appear. An absolutely phenomenal rail again. Vengeur pushed a little bit far back. k1llsen's going to bully him off.
k1llsen not going to decide to drop down, instead just holding that top position. Oh, there we go. He did drop down in the end, but is just going to use that opportunity to make Mega instead. And right now we're going to get a confrontation. k1llsen pushing it so aggressively. Rockets were very solid from Vengeur, but ultimately the LG and the better positioning, the surprise out of k1llsen, is what got him the frag right there.
Could have been a trade, but just fell a little bit short. k1llsen, he's going to miss a couple of rails, but not the end of the world so far. The mission's going to be trying to take that control, right? Vengeur is going to drop the totem again. Has to watch out because he's very weak. And now, as the Heavy's going to spawn, k1llsen has to get in and out. Vengeur unable to reach him in time. which is actually could have been a bad situation for k1llsen. The tide's been changed almost instantly. Vengeur needs to get some armor now with the rails that k1llsen's been hitting. You need to make sure you're not stuck on just HP. He's going to go for that safe self-nail and deny the light armor all the same.
Yeah, you gotta make those plays at this point because he knows that Vengeur is just starving for armor right now, and if he can deny anything, even if it's just a small one to Vengeur, that can help him out so much in the long run. k1llsen now making his move onto Heavy. Mega is up, and I think he's trying to use it as bait, knowing exactly where Vengeur is. And there we go, out of the corners, out of the shadows, pushing in. Could have orbed, but Vengeur actually managing to heal up quite nicely with that totem.
I'm loving this game of patience that we're seeing from Vengeur. He does spring it, falls a bit short and pops the Dire Orb a little bit too early. He actually loses his angle on the LG because he just did it way too early in that fight.
Yeah, that could have very well been a frag. He had delayed it just another half a second or so, but Vengeur again hurting the rails coming out of k1llsen, doing a decent amount of damage, but oh my god, the Tri-Bolt, the German is suffering!
Oh, he's going for even more. And finally, he's able to get in between the rhythm of the Tri-Bolt.
Vengeur didn't actually realize that k1llsen got away. It seemed like he shot quite a few more Tri-Bolts in there. But right now, 3 minutes left on the clock, and Vengeur 1 frag in the lead.
I feel like Vengeur is, and has been this entire series, playing the long game. Like, he's very much not interested in giant frag differences. At no point, even when he has the lead, he's not afraid to give up control. If he can win the map on 1 frag, it looks like that's exactly what he's looking to do.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did last map as well. Won at 1 frag in overtime. So he will have no issues doing the exact same here. Heavy, next major item, and Vengeur's got a really good position to punish. k1llsen takes a lot of damage. Oh, nice fakey on the orb though. If he had actually gone for that, that would have probably been a kill for Vengeur. And 2 frags of a difference on Blood Run, that could very well spell the end.
Yeah, straight 50-50 right there. By all means, Vengeur could have actually called the bluff and stayed holding the angle. Would have probably put k1llsen weak enough, and with Vengeur's stack and the ammo, maybe could have rocket jumped up there and finished the job, but keeping k1llsen alive, but I'm concerned. Time is counting down with just over 2 minutes left on Blood Run. And if Vengeur gets this, I mean, even without that 3rd map, we're going to be going to, you know, a 2-0 at that point, and that's a win for Vengeur. That's already his message sent. And the rail, k1llsen, 1 HP club. He's going to get the health bubbles, but that's all there is to it. There's not a lot of stuff left to heal him up around that part of the map.
No, not at all. And Vengeur playing a safe game right now. k1llsen, all the pressure is on him. He's waiting down at rockets, getting himself the weapons that he needs, but he's got so little to work with. Doesn't even have more than like 20 armor on his side, and that is allowing Vengeur to just take full control of the map. Heavy will probably be going his way as well. Mega definitely within reach too. Takes a nasty bit of damage right there though. k1llsen knows he needs to start hitting big, but he will miss the shot and Vengeur will not. And that is an excellent play from the Italian.
All things considered, you can't take your eyes off the clock, can you? We're at 1 minute 15. Vengeur has been playing the long game from start to finish. Get some immediate damage, and k1llsen, last lifeline, you could say, forced to retreat again. Vengeur has maintained control over the final stretch. And even though he got caught off guard, k1llsen hesitant to dedicate, because if he went in there and pushed in a return rail or some return LG, even a direct rocket at that health, and he would have been finished off by Vengeur to just go in and finish the job. By the time k1llsen's been able to get some stack back up, yeah, he needs to hit this rail. He needs to hit the next one. He goes in for the rocket jump, and the rocket at the end! He needed that so desperately, Flea. What a choice. He's straight back in it.
Absolutely, k1llsen looking good. Vengeur's got the stack advantage of the respawn though, but look at the Tri-Bolt! Whoa! The vertical flick rail is going to put k1llsen 1 frag in the lead, and right now the tables have turned completely. All the pressure is on Vengeur. 20 seconds, can he find k1llsen? And again, as we talked about earlier, he's Galena. Very little mobility, very little offensive capabilities, and k1llsen has got that orb to get away with.
And it's a distance that Galena simply cannot chase down. If you're going to play the long game, you have to be prepared for it to go ham! And speaking of which, the final frag. k1llsen with a turnaround in quite literally the last possible minute. That was a fantastic turnaround.
Yeah.
And, I mean, composure through and through. That's what happens.
Absolutely, because I mean, you gotta keep yourself grounded in those situations, knowing how difficult it is to make up a frag deficit on a map like Blood Run. But k1llsen, he just stayed cool and he found the perfect opportunity to engage, and then that rocket jump up followed by that huge rocket down onto Vengeur. What a beautiful shot.
And it's just, it's the decision making to say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it right now. It's just the on the spot moments of, if this goes pear shaped, then it's over. But ultimately, in the last possible second, I feel like it was just the one thing. And after a couple of free frags, there were definitely 2 kills that went down for free at the beginning. It's what allowed Vengeur to play that long game in the first place. But it didn't affect him. k1llsen was able to not only reclaim things at the last second, he was able to win the entire map. Vengeur was seconds away from a 2-map victory against the world champion. That would have been so impactful. Like, some of these frags, he was making mistakes, but that final choice to rocket jump and dedicate, because he knew Vengeur was far too weak. I mean, here it is. Bam! Right on the money. Vengeur strafed right into it as well.
And that is a very, very brave play, because you know that you're up against someone with an amazing LG, with the lightning gun at the ready, and you're still just rocket jumping right into that. You need to have that rocket. If you jump up and you miss the following rocket, you're done. That would have been GG, but he kept his cool and he landed the shot. Beautiful.
I think when an entire map goes by and some of the fights just go like completely disastrous, there's no other way to describe, like, you know, the missed dire orb in power up room. I mean, the first minute of that map for k1llsen, where he kind of missed the orb and missed getting heavy and lost 2 frags really, really quickly. It's easy to start second guessing yourself when some fights just go horribly wrong.
Yeah.
But the final choice didn't, and that's what matters. And now, I mean, the momentum is in k1llsen's favor. He's in a position now where he was able to, by all accounts, completely steal that one away. And now our final map, Corrupted Keep, BJ and k1llsen, it's going to be damage, sustainability, as always. But I think if it is a game of momentum, k1llsen has this one 2-1, surely.
Yeah, I mean, he must be feeling amazing right now after those final frags, the rocket jump, the flick rail, and then the orb at the end. k1llsen's feeling it, he's running high right now, and I think he can definitely make that carry over into the next map as well. Although it's going to be entirely different. No railgun this time around, and that's a weapon that k1llsen used extremely well on Blood Run.
I'm quite concerned for Vengeur now, though. I'm in a position where Vengeur is... He is a pretty big, I think, critic on himself, and I've said this about Huang, because I actually think it's similar for him and Vengeur. I mean, I guess it's something about the slightly younger generation of Quake player, isn't it?
Okay.
But where they hold themselves to a standard, and when they don't meet that standard, or they don't do something that they've kind of really set their mind to, be it a tournament result being a big one, if they don't hit it, it just really affects them. Vengeur has been proven in tournament historically to have been affected by that stuff during the sets.
Yeah.
You know, we definitely saw that with him and Nosfer at QuakeCon, where Nosfer was just...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, by the end of the map, he was just destroying Vengeur, because I feel like halfway through that map, Vengeur had already given up. Because it's like, you just can't get a rhythm going. You could literally see it in his body language and his general demeanor that he just wasn't believing in himself. And if you don't believe in yourself at all, how can you even hope to win a map at all against someone that is feeling like the snowball effect through and through, which now k1llsen will be after how Blood Run just ended.
Yeah, this is going to be difficult for Vengeur. He's going to have to, I think, set quite a few traps with the BJ, although it's quite difficult to do on the map that is Corrupted Keep, and he's got to keep an eye out for that turret, because we've seen it do a hell of a lot of damage. And here we go, jumping into the third and final map of this series. We're on k1llsen's point of view. Good opening rockets, and he will secure himself LG as well, meaning that he has at least a weapon advantage to start with.
Turret's already going to go down at the start of a map, though. I think wasting time is what matters in those situations. How, you know, Mega and Heavy, sometimes they get delayed. Sometimes it's a bit of a game of whether a player can take both. k1llsen taking a lot of damage on the way. Vengeur with an impressive stack to return. But a lot has happened in 30 seconds, and Mega just about to appear. Does k1llsen spring a trap, or does he concede?
Oh, that's a good opening rocket. k1llsen doing a decent amount of damage onto Vengeur. Heavy will be there as well. He drops, but oh my god, the LG. So good. Coming out of Vengeur, just pushing k1llsen right back, and he won't even be able to take the item. Vengeur is immediately going in for a second frag as well, and k1llsen goes down twice in under a minute.
Vengeur went in for the kill. He knew that k1llsen was trying to push and get an LG, squeeze in and out, but he just didn't have time on his side. Vengeur was already there and outstacked him significantly. He's going to get the Mega as well. Should be in full position now to collect the Heavy. And if you're k1llsen and you're 2 frags down and you are already out of control, it's scary. Absolutely. Because Vengeur, unlike the other maps where he might be a bit more timid, this is very much an aggressive player's map sometimes, especially when you hold complete control. The totem comes down, turret comes down, and it just it just diverts your attention, right? It means you can get maybe one free rocket off while they're bothering with your turret.
And it's also, it's worth pointing out that heavy or armor in general is very important for Vengeur, because playing as k1llsen, picking up armor will actually decrease the respawn timer before you can use the ability again. So for Vengeur to stay on top of that heavy armor, that's going to really help him out, because it's drastically going to speed up when he can use the turret.
It went from 17 to 6, I'm pretty just sure. So very, very pivotal. And on a map that has no rail, I think abilities become more prominent, because the less of a arsenal you have, the more important the stuff that exists to you becomes.
Yeah.
But the Mega gets taken anyway. But there's a really nice delay, a very substantial delay, which means that ultimately Vengeur can just run the circuit, and with rockets like that, he is in such a good position to take this map. What a sequence. And the heavy as a reward.
And he might be able to catch k1llsen right off the spawn, right at LG. k1llsen goes for the weapon, hoping he'll be able to get out of the room in time. But Vengeur is there so quickly to just shut him down instantly. And no, it might happen again. Vengeur will take himself the mega health, and k1llsen does manage to get out of the room, but he drops right down. Dual LG does come out. And it looks like Vengeur might actually give up heavy.
I mean, the problem is that he's not going to have dual wield for the heavy itself. And is Vengeur even worried about the fact that k1llsen collects heavy? Is he just showing so much respect that he says, you know what, go on, take it. See how I care. I've got 4 frags. I have loads of stuff around the map to collect. I don't even need that heavy to win the next fight. k1llsen again, distracted by the turret. Taking free damage, in fact. And it's just allowing Vengeur to get in there and deal some bonus damage. I don't even feel like it's a complete detriment that Vengeur hasn't collected that Mega either. Like k1llsen, he is playing the runaway game just to try and not get killed again at this stage. And oh my word, this should be Vengeur's time to die. I swear if he survives.
Doesn't land the damage, he's gonna get out.
Oh my word.
And he will get some elbows.
And the turret to tag team it. He's taking a lot of damage now, has to get in. Try and dodge as the Mega's gonna spawn. The mission's going to be to force Vengeur away, though. Didn't even have time to collect those health bubbles. And now there's so much that k1llsen can collect if he needs to.
Yeah, good play from k1llsen, reading Vengeur perfectly, knowing just how low he is. Gotta still be careful of the nail gun, though. Look at that damage coming out. 62 points of health left, but he's right there.
I do not know why he jumped down. I do not know why k1llsen jumped.
I think k1llsen just completely thought that Vengeur went back into the room, that it was safe for him to go for heavy, but oh hell no. And there comes the damage, and now Vengeur actually looking in a pretty good shape to take back control.
I am shocked k1llsen not only survived that, but managed to get a bigger stack than Vengeur. That was so scary indeed, and props to k1llsen for not making it easy and not even giving up a frag in that position. And now the heavy's going to spawn. Taking out the turret as we go. Heavy has been taken, but by no means is k1llsen in a bad position. He has lost rockets, though. And that might be a bit disastrous. It means he can't even take the fight, at least. Has to concede a little bit of the map in the meantime. But thanks to no Mega just yet, he's not completely out. Pops the dual wield, I think just to force him away. That was... I want to play a sound that means Vengeur runs away.
Yeah, well, and at this point we're 5 minutes, so halfway through the map, and Vengeur's got a pretty sizable lead, although that is something that can change very quickly in Corrupted Keep. While you might not have the same angles that you have for spawn frags on Awoken, you can still very often get your opponent off guard if you position yourself in the right place and manage to win a fight in the right scenario.
Okay, so we're going back to that turn taking of Mega and Heavy. k1llsen only able to get a little bit of damage at first, but that's quickly undone by some excellent ones. Whoa, that rocket almost hit its mark, didn't it? Ambushes him near nail gun room, but he's done so much damage that once more Vengeur has to respect. And now, I mean, this is a difficult position. How does Vengeur try and escape? The rocket jump to chase it down. He can hear where he's running off to. By all means, do not use the jump pad. He's caught him. This should be his frag. Yep. He goes up the jump pad anyway. I think just a vain attempt to land a direct rocket, I would imagine.
Yeah. I mean, there's some situations where you know you're done for, you know you're not going to get out alive, so the best thing you can often do is just get as much damage as you can, and right now Vengeur realizes the turret has been helping him out tremendously, and he's going to move in with the machine gun. Mega, is he going to drop for it? k1llsen has got the better position, but what?
I mean, I think he just fancied his chances, right? You know, sometimes a player will think they've caught the rhythm of the rockets in and out, and man just jumped in a little bit too early and ate it for breakfast. He's going to give up more of a frag difference. Vengeur now leading the charge by 3 over halfway to. That's a one hell of a mistake to make in the final map.
Yeah, this is looking good for Vengeur, landing excellent rockets here as well, forcing k1llsen back out of the room. Mega up in 5 seconds. He's surrendering position on it though. This is really good for k1llsen. Pushing Vengeur out of the room. Mega will be going to the German. Now Vengeur has got set up for heavy, putting down the turret, hoping to, if k1llsen comes out of that the teleporter, he'll do some damage for him.
There's been such a delay in between Heavy and Mega at the same time that what originally was actually quite advantageous for Vengeur, that delay in the items has now actually gone out of his control and it's benefiting k1llsen. That said, Vengeur, he's not going to be afraid just yet. He knows he has got a lead. As long as he can be as hard to catch as possible, as annoying as possible, 3 minutes to go. I mean, allow k1llsen to have control. What if he can't catch you for 3 minutes?
Yep. Still though, 3 frags, 3 minutes, that's 1 a minute. That does give k1llsen a whole lot of time on a smaller map like Keep to make something happen, but that's an excellent rocket coming out of Vengeur that's going to send k1llsen flying and burn quite a few seconds off the clock. And here we go, Vengeur finds the last bit of armor that he needs, stacked right back up to 100, and is in a good position to take the next fight.
No entry rockets from k1llsen so far have been enough that k1llsen is content that he can actually take a fight. And there's going to reach a point too where if k1llsen wants to maintain control, and I'm sure he's already well aware that Vengeur is not interested in taking a fight, there's going to come a point where you have to try and make something happen. And if Vengeur is able to evade you for long enough while you're chasing him, and then he collects a Mega or a Heavy on the way, not only is he evading you, but now he's actually starting to get an element of control back without actually having to change his strategy.
Yeah. And that means that you as k1llsen are then just have to go into full desperation mode and take a fight, even if it's incredibly disadvantageous for you. But look at this, Vengeur actually almost takes it home.
But you know what we just talked about?
Yep, he takes Mega and cripples k1llsen, and right now that's going to take k1llsen quite some time to get stacked back up from. And that's just time ticking away off the clock, allowing Vengeur a better and better odds of winning this one.
And it's wasted a lot of time now. k1llsen has to spend a lot of his time trying to just get a little bit of control back. He's going to take the Heavy in this case, but is that enough? 1.5 minutes left. Actually, 1.5 minutes already wasted. That was so well played from Vengeur. This change of pace on a whim. Very impressive stuff indeed. And the fact that he was able to zip in and steal the Mega, it's just one full rotation when he has 3 frags left to get. He can't afford to lose that time.
Rockets are really good coming out of Vengeur. The defensive damage, even though he's vastly outstacked by k1llsen, those little chips of damage, that's what's going to keep him on top and force his opponent to stay away and respect the damage still. 50 seconds left.
He's going to drop the turret once more. k1llsen fully in that desperation mode that you talked about earlier, Flea, where he has no choice but to just pile in now, secure a frag. He's only got a little bit of time to finally make something happen, and he's just bouncing around like a pinball at this stage. Doesn't even matter. Yeah, k1llsen's already in with the GGs. He knows he hasn't got time. He knows he can't catch him in the 30 seconds he's got left, and this is an absolute knockout of a result for Vengeur. Week number 3, there's plenty more qualifiers left to go. Vengeur, yes, he's already thrown in the towel. He knows he can't win. Vengeur has taken the win this week, taking out the world champ and sending that message that you know he's been looking to send since Pro League began.
This is so good for Vengeur. It's going to give him a huge boost of confidence moving into the next weeks. And I mean, what a better way to do it than to beat k1llsen, winner of QuakeCon, and at this point, slayer of Cooler. Back-to-back 3-0s. So Vengeur is going to be feeling so good about himself.
Vengeur has had a pretty damn good experience so far. I mean, I know we just saw the last week Vengeur scored himself a 3-0 on Garpy. And, you know, he was already able to defeat Toxic in week number 1. And, I mean, he is one by one collecting some